Yeah, thank you, Ollie. Yeah, as Ollie already mentioned, me and Vinny casting first quarterfinal TangTang versus Bubbles. Second appearance of you, Vinny. Last OCC, you did a fantastic job. Everybody was really, really happy about your job. Everybody just thought, wow, good one. Everybody was really full of compliments. How did you enjoy your first appearance in the OCC last season?
Thank you, Spooz. I mean, I just started out as a Bubbles replacement, but I guess Bubbles is some sort of pro now, so you'll
Yeah.
probably be seeing me more often because we can't get any Bubbles anymore. He's too good for us. So I enjoyed it, of course. I just started out playing this game randomly one day, and now here I am. So it's been a blast. It's been a ride.
Cool. Yeah. As I said, everybody and me personally, I was really impressed about your job just for the first time. Had a really good feeling and good to see you back. So, as Ollie mentioned, we will take a short look at the decks first before we jump into the matches, not too deep. Maybe you can carry us to the decks of TangTang here.
So TangTang is one of two people bringing Alpine today, which are you as surprised about this as I am, Spooz? We haven't really seen Alpine in a while in OCC. I would think it's. I mean, I've played it. I've tried playing it on ladder a little bit here and there, even with the most recent patches. It's not even playing like the new. It's not really playing. It's not playing Henschel. It's not playing the new Martyr. It's just the same old list, really. And I don't know. I think it's not so hot against air. However, Bubbles is not bringing air, so I think this should be fine. I think it should be really good against maybe the German Soviet aggro, maybe. But it's just a deck that relies on not getting removed and building up bigger units. Any deck that's slow to remove doesn't like playing against Alpine.
Yeah, especially if you can find an early Gebirgspioneers and start the snowball from there on, drop the 3-credit 4/3 guy on turn 3. That can be really unstoppable once it finds the perfect opening sequence and you don't have answers for that. It's just almost unbeatable.
And Bubbles is going to have very few answers, in fact, especially if he goes first with Gerbergs. No sickle in any of Bubbles' Soviet decks, which is very rare to see. So we'll see if that ends up punishing him.
Yeah, we can talk about this once we took a look at all the decks, because as you said, there might be. I think for Bubbles, it's very hard to decide which deck to ban from TangTang there, because there are some really bad matchups. Like
what else has TangTang got here? Let's see.
Yeah,
so
let's
Alpine,
take a look at that.
Not too scary, Alpine. And then we've got him with a British US. If we can get that up on the screen. British US Air. Here we go. Classic Air. I mean, what more do you need to say? No surprising cards here.
We already took a deeper look in the war room, so I think we don't have to talk any longer about that one.
Very few US cards in this deck, I'll say that much, but still nothing too absurd.
In the Japan version, you also, in the end, you had, like, I don't know, air superiority, and that's it.
You had 2 calm and air superiority. You had 5 cards.
And we see the same development for the Brit US variant now. Like in Known 5's variant, for example, you have 2 P38 in it. They disappeared for TangTang here. So we're also decreasing the US ally cards more and more in the US and the Brit US variant now. We will see where we end in the end. If we just have a full Brit, if just a few more expansions and we have a full Brit ally.
That's what I'm thinking, right? Soon enough we'll have like Brit Poland Air, but the Poland is just a troll. Like there's literally 0 Poland cards in there or something.
Yeah, maybe. And the third deck is still a secret. Yeah. There it is.
Here we go. Speaking of Poland, the US Poland, which we saw No-In win the last OCC with, really consistent mid-range deck. I think this might be what you ban if you're Bubbles, because it's just got too much guard for this German deck to deal with. I would say that Bubbles is rocking just too much guard, and Bubbles is not playing, decks with real board clears. So this is what I would ban.
Yeah, speaking about, let's first of all take a look at Bubbles decks, because we've only talked about them so far, but I think it would be better to also look at them. So we spoke about that German Soviet Henschel deck. So currently in the ladder, there's more like German Britain with the Hammer and Paracy. Bubbles just invented this and was really successful in the qualifiers with it. What do you think might be a better reason to choose this one over the Brit one?
Well, this one plays war production, and any credit sheet in any card game, credit, mana sheet, whatever it is just ripe to be abused. And with Germany, you can get in there with, you don't really need any orders. Now, I must wonder, is it really not worth including, even one Blitzkrieg or something? I don't know. He seems to have found that, no, it's not worth it. The war production is enough to carry you through. He doesn't even need Enigma because the Martyrs can draw so many cards. The advantage here is that you can abuse those Russian Arties. And the Arties are really, really strong in aggro v aggro. And I imagine he was expecting a lot of aggro v aggro. I will say, though, that the Arties become a lot less good against Empire strikes and those AoEs, but...
Yeah, what I also found out when playing this deck, you cannot really give your artilleries additional attack. Like, for example, with the Soviet US deck, you have the 10th engineers in it and can give adjacent unit +2 attack. That's what you can do. So that Sys is just 2 damage.
Well, he is playing the Panzer IIc, which can give 1 attack to an Artie. So it's something, but I agree, it doesn't have as much way to buff them as, let's say, the dedicated Artie deck that J King's bringing.
Yeah. So, and the second deck from Bubbles is a very interesting Feint Retreat Jagger list, because he also put in the Henschel in this. Do you think
and the Martyr.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's really loving those new changes. And I will agree, those cards went from complete garbage, Martyr and Henschel, to being really, really good. And so good, in fact, that he thinks that they're worth including in this incredibly just, old and well-known Jagger list at this point.
Do you think it's worse to put in Henschel and Jaggero? Like, what can you get maximum? +2, +2, +3,
well,
+3?
It's definitely worse than it is in obviously the dedicated Humber deck or his Germany Soviet deck. But even a +2/+2 is worth it. I mean, take Supply Shipment. That card is fine, right? It's +2/+3 to a front line. I mean, it doesn't see a lot of play at all, but it's okay, right? This, you don't need to have the front line, and it comes with a 1/2 body just to... it's not an order because you don't want to play too many orders because of Feigned Retreat, and it's also just an additional body for Signal Regimen and to get buffed by your Type 99. So that in itself is a big deal. But it doesn't have Blitz. A lot of times your tank is in the front line, so you're literally getting like +1 maybe to the tank, which is not great. But he just thinks the card is so insane that he even wanted to include it in Jagro, and I do agree the card is very, very strong. I don't know if I would play it in Jagro though.
Yeah, we will see how it works out for him today. Maybe if the deck is not getting banned. And the final deck for Bubbles here. I have to tell a little story about this, because Bubbles just had his 2 decks ready, and he was thinking, oh, I might bring in the 3rd deck, and he just joined the Twitch stream on Thursday, I guess. And he was asking, Spooz, what should I play? I have 2 decks. And at this point, I was playing tokens on my new account, just testing out how new player experience is, what to craft, and blah, blah, blah. And I just said, oh, yeah, look, we're rocking with tokens. Bring tokens. And yeah, look what he's bringing. He's just bringing a Soviet US token.
He's trying to win OCC. Winning OCC is not enough. He's trying to win it free to play.
No, you need someone to blame if he's not winning.
Yeah, okay, that's it. But he actually has no elites in his Soviet deck. Has anyone ever done that? Am I seeing this correctly? He has no elites. Right?
Yeah, I mean, tokens don't really need any
they don't
need
it, but like, has anyone ever played a Soviet deck without elites at OCC? No, the answer is no. So he's trying to win free to play here, I guess. But in all seriousness, this is a very unique tokens list, because we're seeing no alliance and we're seeing no surrender.
Yeah, he's also playing Red Devil, so
yeah, just trying to get a hold of that front line. And he's also got the engineers. So this is a tokens deck that is trying to take the front line like early, much earlier than normal, not waiting until turn 5, no surrender and such.
Yeah, and that's why I'm thinking that Bubbles might have a hard time. For example, this list should be bad against Brit Air.
I mean, yeah, all the lists are bad against Brit Air, really, unless... Well, I mean, does he have 52k? It looks like no, right?
No,
52k. Yeah, every tokens list is going to be bad against Air, but especially with no 52k, nothing like that, no confusion, nothing.
And I'm really not in a good spot or not in a good thought for bubbles here. If I think about facing Alpine, for example, and your opponent is having that snowball, how do you come back with all these
Right,
1-1s?
no sickle, no United We Stand, no United We Stand. Am I seeing that correctly too? That card is insane right now, and he's playing none,
he's just
right?
having Unity, yeah.
Yeah, he cannot remove Gerbergs at all. I am very scared for this deck for bubbles, but I do think tokens is underrated. I do think that buff a while ago to the, 503rd motors, the 2/5 guard. That card is really, really strong. 2/5 guard for 3. That's meh. But +1/+1 to even like 2 tokens, then the card becomes insanely good.
Yeah, and even the change to no surrender, giving the token splits now, combined with Ura, it can also be a good way to regain the front line.
Well, yeah, but that change doesn't matter because he's not playing no surrender, which is probably the most surprising.
Sure. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but I think I
asked him actually, and he said it's because he's playing artillery, so he doesn't want to lose value on it if artillery's in the back line, but.
Okay, that makes sense.
I feel like that makes sense, but if you're, I don't know, it's kind of maybe it's a bit of a win more idea, because if your artillery is alive, maybe anyway, I don't know, but very interesting deck from bubbles.
Yeah, so we talked a lot about bans and stuff while we did go through the decks. So what if you were playing here, what decks would you ban from each side?
I'm going to ban Jagro. There's no Mare in that Alpine. Usually Jagro's too fast for Alpine. It can get lucky against air and win against air. Plus, I would expect my air to get banned, maybe. And it's also like, 50-50 against the US Poland. It just kind of depends who goes first in that matchup. So you definitely get rid of Jagro. It's definitely the most popular deck. So I think he's going to respect that. But whoa, we got a surprising. Looks like TangTang did not agree with that. TangTang actually is going to respect that war production deck, which makes sense. It is very good against other aggro decks, and TangTang pretty much has. I would say that the US is a bit more mid-rangey, but makes sense. So he's going to say that he can beat Jagro.
So, and Bubbles ban also makes a lot of sense, because the token stack is bad against air. That German Soviet deck is bad against air.
Yeah,
or not that great.
Yeah. Great call by Bubbles, because if he predicted TangTang to ban Germany, well, Germany was his only good matchup against the air, right?
Yeah.
So that makes perfect sense. If you know he's going to ban your Germany, you got to ban his air, because the other 2 decks are just bad against it, especially the Soviet.
So, and final question. What do you think? Who's going to win? It's hard to say.
I think Bubbles will win a game this time, actually. I do think Bubbles will win a game. I don't know if I'm ready to say he will win. So I'm gonna say TangTang. I just think his decks are too favorable in this matchup. I think this token is gonna struggle. But
I completely agree. As much as I love Bubbles, I think that matchup wise, it's just TangTang's advantage today.
Yeah, and the fact that he made it here, back again, really just goes to show that Bubbles, Bubbles is he's not here to be taken lightly.
Absolutely.
He could totally win.
Fighting through 33 players is something that you have to achieve first, and he did it. So he's absolutely on the correct spot here today.
Speaking of fighting uphill, we've got 1 drop. Ooh. Oh, but the Arado, does he want to go Arado or no? No, I guess he does not.
No, I guess he wants to remove Alpine units in the front line or in the support line of your opponent first. And that Arado, what could he provide? Bombing rate, feint retreat?
Yeah,
and he's having desperate measures in hand already.
Yeah, my concern would just be something like a Gerbergs, but I guess he's already got the desperate. You want to draw or do you want to play? Wow, why? Well, I guess he just wants to keep his Alpine alive.
Yeah, because next turn he can second Alpine or the 131st and move to the front line. Maybe. But yeah, Bubbles not with the greatest hand in the world here. That bicycle regiment, you don't want to have that on the front line, because then your opponent can trade it away and this Alpine unit is still alive.
Ooh, an Artie. Do you ever play the Artie? He thinks no. 4th through the breach, by the way. This is a card you're really happy
I wanted to mention that one.
Yeah. You're really happy to have it against Jagro. A lot of matchups, no. But against Jagro, yes. Do you use it or do you save it for like a Type 99?
I'm not sure. I mean, did Arrow do?
I would use it because if both of them attack into my my
it probably
1/2,
dies,
they
and
both
then
get
you
a free trade.
But that will also cost Bubbles 2 credits, right? What else can he do? Now he has 1 credit left.
I know, right?
We lose a lot
there's
of
no
tempo,
obvious answer. There's no obvious answer. He's really thinking.
He's thinking, yeah.
I'm gonna say yes, because something like a Type 99 could make you need only 1 trade. Makes sense.
The desperate measures here.
Yeah, although an early desperate measures going second, that is scary because that puts you behind a lot of credits, you know?
Yeah, I mean, look at this. 4 credits against 2 credits. Next turn, Bubbles only having 3. He cannot even blitz the Mido to the front line. And there's a big 5-4 waiting.
Oh, wow. Not killing the blitz despite the 0 op cost. That really goes to show that he must be feeling really comfortable. He's not so worried about his HP value.
But looking at TangTang's hand, there's not too much good stuff left. I mean, there is a no beach waiting. Oh, the
Gerber's yeah, that's what you want.
That is really huge. So what do you deploy first? 41st or Gebirgs Pioneers?
I'm going the Obiche and the Gerbergs here. Just in position around the bombing raid, because he's played Arados, right? So he probably is suspecting a bombing raid next turn. However, it is a feigned. And getting Artie down against Jagro is a really big deal. Okay, the fact that he would kill the... He's not going to play the Obeach. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. Yep, and he's positioning perfectly around bombing raid. Look at that, because that unit cannot be targeted.
Bubbles getting the damage in. Also, what is a big advantage here for Bubbles is that his hand is slightly empty, so whenever he reaches top turn 6, he can just slam that feign retreat and then hope to find a good snowball. Maybe some Mido regiments to bring in that missing damage there, but still a way to go.
It's going to be close. It's going to be a race. But TangTang, once he retakes his front line, or not retakes, but just takes it for the first time, it's only going to take him at most 3 turns to just straight up kill him, to kill Bubbles. This is going to be a big race.
Yeah, especially with this encirclement, right?
Yeah.
Look at this. That's a big 7-6 unit.
And heck,
with the
I guess you have to be worried about dying straight up next turn now if you're Bubbles. Yeah, so he's going to... Wow, he's not going to clear the 4-1 or the Gerbergs.
Not expecting an Obeach there.
This is close.
It's not enough credits, but...
How much...
Attack-wise? No,
it is enough credits, but how much? It's 7 + 7.
It's exactly enough.
He's dead. He won. Oh no! How do you not clear the 4-1? No. Well, I know.
Too greedy. He was too greedy. Yeah. I mean, I think he had to take that risk, right?
Yeah, otherwise... I understand. Because it's like, well, you have to win in the next turn anyway, or 2. Yeah. So I understand why you hit face, but it obviously didn't pay off.
Yeah, that Alpine deck was just too strong. Bubbles not really with a chance to clear the support line units. They just became bigger and bigger with each deploy, and...
Yeah, I don't think there was any misplay that Bubbles made that affected the outcome of the game. I think he did everything that he could. It was just... TangTang didn't float a single credit basically all game, you know, right? Yeah. He had something to do every single turn, and the Jagro just didn't find Type 99s, right? That's a pretty huge deal when they have to fight you board to board.
Yeah, I'm also sure that Bubbles would have preferred a bombing raid maybe instead of the feigned retreat.
Well, yeah, considering he literally never got to play the feigned, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
To be fair, though, he did choose to play that second Arado without activating the deploy. He just said, I'm going to play this as a 1-2, you know? So that's... But I don't think that was a misplay. I'm just saying that...
Yeah, I think he saw the state of the game and decided, oh, I need to be fast here. Once this snowball continues, I don't have a chance to get the damage.
Speaking of being fast, this is the matchup I was briefly alluding to, where you really, really want to go first. And he did go first this time, and he has the pretty much perfect start of 35T and Bicycle. So this is going to be 4 to...
TangTang with a 32nd here.
Okay, no, he's going to draw. Okay. This is fine.
Yeah, not too bad, because that frontline unit, one of these would have died anyways. Even if it was Panzer 35T, then the Henschel would have made nothing.
Okay. Choosing to value HP instead of cards in hand for Bubbles there with that United stand. I agree. When you're going second, I agree. I would say that's probably the right call.
But Bubbles can have a good next turn if TangTang is not deciding to clear that 35T. I'm pretty sure he is.
Oh, of course. I'm sure he will. And you're playing Plan West too, right?
But Bubbles still have a good next turn, right? Pencil 35T
yeah,
hand shell.
He's got a fine next turn for sure.
That is a +5/+5 or 5/5 in the front line. Yeah.
Yeah. So it will kill Plan West on its own, even. This Heinschel is about to make a lot of noise here, showing us that, yeah, that was the right call. And he's going to go Plan West.
There he goes. And now we might see it. The 5/5 35T. He's thinking. What could be an alternative play? Akita frontline, not too good.
Yeah, everything else just... Nothing can get as good as this. This is definitely what you do. Part of the reason it's so big, though, is because that United We Stand didn't take out the 99th Regiment in the back line. Maybe that was a mistake after all. I think Bubbles is going too fast here. Oh, that's a pretty good draw, I guess.
Yeah. Gives TangTang the ability to clear that 35T now.
Yeah, he could play the United We Stand to get out a unit with attack value instead, like because he can also fit in the Chocolate Boys. I think that's probably better, honestly. It is probably better, I think, to just play out Chocolate Boys and buff to trade instead.
But will it not die anyways?
It will die. Yeah, it will die, but
you want to have something on board afterwards.
Yeah,
I see
that has attack. I mean, you'll have the medical battalion on board, but it has no attack, so it doesn't do anything.
I see.
Right?
Yeah.
Bubbles will just ignore it and go face. It's going to be a pretty gross use of the United We Stand. It's definitely not what Unity Strength, excuse me. Oh, wow.
Oh, there's keeping his HQ guarded. Okay. That is also not too...
Yeah, this loses really hard to Desperate, though. Well, actually, I mean, the Heinschel just can trade into it, period. No, whatever, I don't know. Probably doesn't make a difference. Well, no, I think it makes a difference, right? Because that Red Devils has got that extra tax on it. The Red Devils would have had a lot of HP. It would have had 5 HP if he wanted to operate in the same turn, or 6 if he didn't want to operate in the same turn. Ooh, look at that. I didn't know that was in his deck.
Yeah, TangTang, one of the Chinese players that is having Uprising. A lot of them don't have it. He's having it.
It's really not that good here, but it's what you have to do, I think. Yeah, you got to do it.
Yeah, I think also you want to have a free front line to get your second Kelly into the front line.
Yeah. I think that makes, but to be honest, though, I think that makes the wasting of the Red Devils like a lot worse, though. Because he could have had a Red Devils alive because it was only a 2 AoE. But oh well. Oh, that's a good draw.
No.
So what are you gonna do? You're gonna trade into the cavalry, bounce Mito, and just play another Chocolate Boy?
What else can you do?
Yeah, I mean nothing. Everything else. Well, you could play Cali. Honestly, I guess there's some. Yeah, I'll hear an argument for Cali. He's doing it. Yeah, he's doing it.
Getting rid of it. Receiving 2 more face damage. Very unfortunate for Bubbles here that he did not find a Signal Regiment by now. That would make a huge difference.
He might find it off the Dinah. Or the Dina. Ooh, still not finding it. This is going to get close now.
Bubbles really want to stay in the front line, huh?
Yeah. Ooh, we can do it. It's probably not going to use it this turn, but you'll probably need it at some point to not die to the burn. Wow, so many options. All of them not great.
So I think TangTang's saving 3 of these in the deck.
Yeah. What do you want to do here? Do you want to play Chocolate Boy? We can do it, but then you get stuck with this Cali that's just going to end up having like no attack.
Yeah, I think Chocolate Boy, we can do it, is not too bad.
Yeah, nothing here is perfect. Nothing here is exactly what he wants. Other than that, you could attack type 99, bounce with Underground State, and play Chocoboy. Floats 2 credits, though.
I don't know, honestly. It's a tough spot. I mean, it's looking like TangTang is having an advantage here, but...
It's incredibly close. I don't think
great.
he does, because there's Feigned in Bubbles' hand. I think Bubbles is quite in the lead right now. Oh, wow. He's really hoping this Tar now does not get Sendai'd. And it's going to work out. It's going to work out. Kind of. I mean, he's still taking a ton of damage, but it's kind of working out.
Wait, what did I miss? Why did it... I played it. Okay, it just looked like the Desperate Measures got discarded. I don't know. That looked really strange. He played it that fast that I thought it was discarded, but he played it. Okay. Oh, 4. He's having a Mido and that Taipei regiment, which is 4 damage. But on the other hand, TangTang with double, we can do it here. Can bring him back to 10. That is really close.
Yeah, but there's a Feigned. TangTang cannot... I would say he can almost just not win. Ooh, another Mido. I don't think TangTang can win.
Not enough heal on the deck, right?
No. Yeah, there's no Jasko either. Jasko is... He would kill to have a Jasko right now.
He's only having 1 Uprising left.
I mean, I guess what you could do is We Can Do It, hope to draw Skytrain, and then make a Jasko off your Skytrain. I think that's the best move, right?
I think so, yeah. I think these additional +3 health will not help.
I agree with this because you shouldn't be dead next turn. Well, no, actually, you could be dead next turn. You could be. But you shouldn't be.
This is so close. Taipei and Akita both to the front or attack. So if Bubbles is lucky.
If he gets the lucky Akita.
He had 33% to win here, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Lucky Akita, that's what. Ooh,
no! Wait, what? Oh, I thought he would attack with Akita first.
Oh, wait. No. No. He doesn't have a 30. No. Because there was never going to be enough.
It would die. Yeah. It would not die.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow,
he needs to draw Skytrain. He needs Skytrain. He needs to start drawing, and he needs to find Skytrain. And then hope the Skytrain gets Jasko.
So that is TangTang's final We Can Do It, correct? He played 2 already.
No. He played 1.
Really?
He played 1. Yeah. That's the second one.
Okay.
And at this point, I'm telling you, We Can Do It is not enough because there's Feigned in the hand of Bubbles. Whoa.
That's a lot of pressure.
Whoa. Well, now like Shiden just wins. This is so wow. That is so risky. I feel like.
Pin it. Played it. Bicycle fail. Feign retreat. Perfect turn here for Bubbles.
Perfect.
And now all he needs to find is another Mido.
Okay, so I guess I don't really know, to be honest. I don't really know what TangTang's out is here.
Also find bombing rate. So there are some options for Bubbles here to win. Also signal regiment into any 2 blitz units.
No, even a Mido is enough to win. There's a lot of Shiden. There's a ton of things that just win for Bubbles.
I'm not sure how many Midos he's having left. He played 3 already?
He played, I want to say 2, and then one of the other...
Oh, the Akita probably. Cost. Okay, yeah. Might be.
Well, I guess if Bubbles, I don't know, like it would be very, very difficult, but there is a possible draw where Bubbles does not win and then loses. It is possible. He would need like all his 1-drops except for Signal, Einschul, 35T, these types of things. He's not even guarding up. Wow, he doesn't even care about the Shiden. That's a bad draw. That's the start of it. Yeah, that's the start of it. Oh no! Oh, he's trading first to play the Martyr. Sure. Oh my god.
No!
Oh my god, he could lose! He doesn't have attack now. He doesn't have enough attack. Why'd he play the Martyr? Well, I mean, I understand. Oh my god, he came back! Dude, TangTang just literally not caring for his own safety. Doesn't guard anything. He had Hell and he chose not to play Hell.
Oh, wow,
great moves. Great moves by TangTang.
2 Hells is all you need. to not
Bubbles,
lose.
I favored Bubbles a lot at that point, but TangTang going full aggro.
Yeah, he took the risk with the Tano regiment there, not guarding or trading.
Yeah,
just
imagine if there's a send. I mean, he just played with no care for possible answers from Bubbles, right? Like, if there's just a Sendai or something, the game was over a long time ago.
I mean, I think against Jaggro sometimes you have to take a risk when you know
you do.
If I play it safe now, I lose anyways. But if I take a risk, I have better chances if it goes through. And he took that chance, and 2-0 again for Mr. Bubbles. TangTang in the semifinals here. Congrats.
Yeah, congrats to TangTang. First guy to dethrone J King off the ladder for months on months on end, and now here he is in top 4 of OCC.
Okay, thank you, Vinny. It was really, really a pleasure casting with you, and we're giving it back to Ollie and Spooz, I guess.
Yes, thank you very much, Spooz, for throwing it back to yourself and myself. No, it's always good, and what a series! That was an exceptionally close game. We saw that Akita proc hit, and only 1 HP left, but TangTang just managing to stay alive by the skin of his teeth. Man, that was a close one. Yeah. Unfortunate for Bubbles. I mean, he is of course a good friend to the show. He normally casts with us, so we always want to see Bubbles do well, but just barely not able to finish that game.